Hello, everyone. This is the first conference most time conference in America, and I'm going to begin. My name is Miriam Obo-Anderson, and I am a qualified accountant. I'm a fellow member of ACCO and the Chief Executive Officer for Morocco in Africa. I live in Ghana, so I work from Ghana. I have to tell you a brief story about Morocco. Morocco is originally a consulting firm in the UK and was started by a fellow member of ACC as well. His name is Molai Tagbo is an accountant with over 30 years of experience in the industry. And he has been doing Morocco for the past 13 years. I met Molai in 2020, just before COVID, and we started working together. As we worked together, I discovered that I could provide a virtual service using online banking and online accounting packages, cloud accounting. And so by that we discussed how possible this can be. And then we started Morocco, registered Morocco in Ghana. I am speaking on achieving business wealth using online banking and cloud accounting. Business wealth is achieved if business goes on very well. And business goes on very well when the business owner has full attention for the business. When money that is being earned for the business is being used very well, so that you don't have to spend too much time doing your sales, your creditors, your debtors, trying to put your balances together. And then nobody gets away with your money because you know how to take care of it. And that is why we accountants exist. First of all, I'd like to ask you a few questions. Were you in business last year? How much sales did you make? And what was your profit? How much profit did you make? Do you have evidence for the sales that you made? You can prove to me that you made some sales. And I want to ask you, did you have strategic plan for the year 2025 at the beginning of the year? On what basis did you make your plans for 2025? So you have to be able to say that probably you made some sales, let's say 20,000. You want to improve on this in 2025. So you want to make 35,000 in the year 2025. How do you go about this? Because you know what you did in 2024, you could improve on that to make the sale in 2025. Now, if you don't know your numbers, how will you strategize for the future? That's the first question I'm asking. When I joined Morocco, I realized that work is done in a certain way. We use a formula to do our work in Morocco, and that we call the Morocco accountancy formula. We've been using this formula since I joined, and it divides the whole work into various stages: stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4, stage 5, and stage 6. The first stage, which is stage 1, happens to be the most important stage. That's when you capture business information. The business information in the form of sales, in the form of expenses, in the form of bank transactions to pay payments, in the form of pictures, the activities that you're going to every now and then, everything that you report about your business. But the most important one to be the accountant, to be your sales, then your expenses, those that have to do with money. So at stage one, you want to capture these things. And then at stage two, you want to use the information that we have captured to create a management report. A management report is a report that is used by managers, used in-house to discuss the progress or otherwise of the business. Then what action you can take to improve what we are doing, probably to achieve the strategy that we set out to achieve in 2025. So that's what a management report is doing. And it comes out every month. After the month, and probably like 15th of the following month, when we give you a management report. Okay. We could add other things to the management report, like your KPIs, and measuring them, and then telling you that this is how you did as against what you wanted to achieve. You could add photos of the activities that you have taken. So it comes in the form of booklets. It could be very interesting if you're able to do this for you. You could also add Google Analytics, okay, of the number of people who have visited your website, where they are coming from, whether they're resulted in a sale, or which of the pages where did this thing, most of them. Some just come to your content page and they're out. They know that they didn't actually see what you're doing, that they just visited probably by chance. So what can you do about all these? So if people are buying online, that means that you have to work in that direction to make people attracted to your website and then to buy from you. So every information that we're putting in the management report is to help you improve your performance. That is stage two. Now let's go to stage three. Stage three is about accounts scheduling. So we have finished with the whole year, giving you management reports for 12 months. Now the year has ended, and we are in stage three, where we want to schedule your accounts as we prepare you for an audit. And there are statutory requirements as to how we schedule a company and how we schedule a charity. Okay, so we follow the requirements to be able to do a schedule for you. At stage four, we are doing taxation. Want to measure how much tax you're going to pay. Okay, calculate how much tax you're going to pay and inform you about that and prepare a schedule also for your tax. Okay, so that is stage four. Now, stage five, you want to prepare an audit report. We are doing an audit for you. Then we come out with an audit report. Then, as stage six, you want to file your audit report with the company's house or at a charities commission if you're a charity. This is very interesting and very fulfilling. By the time you reach stage six, you are very happy that a client has gone through the whole cycle of a year. But you could see that all these other stages are mostly dependent on stage one, which is the time when we capture the business information. And we have tools that we use for each stage. In Moracle, we're using stage 0 and QuickBooks to do stage 1. There are other packages that could be used for stage 1, but we have stuck to these three. And you can be assured that every member of our staff is certified on how to use these packages for stage 1. Stage 1 remains the most important stage of the Moracle accountancy formula. And we're going to talk about stage 1 and how every business would be able to get stage 1 done. That is the import of this presentation and how you can achieve business wealth. Now, when we talk about the packages that we used, we could come back to where accountancy has evolved from. We used to use books where we write invoices by hand. Then we will write a sales day book by hand to transfer the information from the invoices into a sales day book. And then we will write a cash book by hand. Okay, I was very lucky to have seen these in my 18 or so years experience in corporate Ghana. seen how we have transformed from writing books to now using AI or capturing data for our accounts, okay, to prepare accounts for a company. So after we've written our cash book, we'll have to do a ledger book. And then from the ledger book, we have to prepare our accounts. And you can imagine if you're using a pen and paper, it means I have to cast all the figures using a calculator. So you need somebody who will be casting as you're casting so that you can compare the totals before you can be sure that this is the figure that should go into the accounts. And that is very tedious. If you make a mistake, means you have to use the white fluid to clean it and then come back and write it again. It could get messy sometimes. I remember those times. And then from there, we have moved to Excel. Now, Excel also has its own challenges. And you could easily make a mistake if you lose the data, if you are not saving it properly, or you are not able to save it properly on time, or those times that the pieces were not auto-saved, you could actually lose what you're doing within a short while. And so from Excel, we have come to accounting packages, which were on the desktop. So you have to walk into the office, okay? And then you put your PC on before you can access your package, and then you can do work. Right now, the packages have moved online. So in the advent of COVID, most people have started to work online using online packages. So QuickBooks, which used to be a desktop, now has both desktop and online. And most businesses have moved from QuickBooks desktop. They transited to a QuickBooks online. Now, we used to write checks. So people write a check for you. You go to the bank, you go and deposit it. You wait for 2 days for the checks to clear. Check writing has come with its own challenges. People can take a check to the bank, which has a mistake. They have to return it and then take it back again for it to be written, then sent. Checks have given us a lot of headache as well. Okay, when it gets finished, you need to order a new checkbook. And then probably really anticipate how many leaves you might need by just finish. And then, you have to sign checks before you travel so that people can make payments. Okay. But when it comes to online banking, you can do it anywhere you are without giving somebody a prerequisite to go for money when you are not there. Okay. So it has come with a lot of convenience to do online banking. So having spoken about desktop packages, we are now with online packages. Very convenient to have QuickBooks online. It means you can access your accounts everywhere you are. You can also do your banking everywhere you are. Okay. So from online packages comes AI and data capture, as I've seen in some developed countries where robots are in the shops. So as you buy, or AI is in the shop, takes the information as you buy and you pay by credit card, they're able to pick the sales information, and then this is later processed into a financial statement. Also, there are apps that small businesses can use to collect sales information to create invoices for their clients instead of writing or putting your invoices in Excel, which is not very secure. You could use your cloud accounting, which is very, very convenient, can be installed even on your phone. So you can imagine that you have a potential client who's asking you the price of your service, who's asking you of a service. And then you just take your phone, you're able to give the person a quotation of what that this service will cost. Isn't it convenient? It is. And makes you competitive, right? If you can have a package like that, a system like that. You can do something like that for your potential clients. See that you're serious and you're in business. You really want to make the service available to the person. Now let's see what you would put in a typical accounting package. That's the cloud package. What you put in, what you require of you is your organizational details, when you were formed, what kind of industry you are, the name of your industry, the colors, your logo, and where you are located, your base currency. Okay, I will ask for all these things to set up an accounting package. It's quite interesting. So all the information about your business are one place, and then it will ask you to put in your customers, your suppliers, your contracts, your products, your services. Okay, this is intended to make your life easier. So if you want to create an invoice, you just have to go in there and then say invoice. I want to do invoice. And then you start writing the name of your customer. Once you start writing the name will just pop up because you already put the names there and details about the customer as well. Okay, so where they are located, what they do for you, their, their currency if allowed. Okay, if it's a different currency that you bill them in, then all these ones are in the system already. So you just have to type. Their names will pop up, and then you choose a product you want to sell to them at the price you want to sell. You could change the prices, you could add more products at any time. Okay. And then immediately you put in this information. The date is there. Your invoice is ready for the customer. Imagine that there's a competitor who stays next to you and is doing the same business you're doing or similar, and is issuing out paper invoices. It will take about 5-10 minutes to write a paper invoice. You are doing it within a minute. Probably you'll be paying for some paper subscription, or you'll be paying an accountant to manage this for you in the beginning. But at a certain point in time, you'll be able to do these things yourself. Of course, clients will move towards you than to that competitor who's still using paper. Because the world has changed. Things have moved on from paper to paperless. Okay. So it would be good to have some system which will record your inputs. Okay. It could also do your contracts for you. And at the end of the year, if you have a chart of accounts properly created in the accounting package, you can have your financial statements from the accounting package coming out. This is very interesting, but because this is what I do, I say it is actually very interesting to get all this information for one company. And when you look at it, you know where you have come from and where you're going. You compare last year's also to this year. You could be audited. You could get an auditor to do audits for you as well. So accounting has evolved from this old system into a very new system where things are now being done online. Now, I want to talk about Zero as a package. Zero will come in various forms. Okay. In the initial stage, when you're starting a business, you can have Zero for $20 a month, which is just going to create your invoices, your bills for you, and do a business snapshot. So you see how your business is performing. So those are about 4 things that Zero can do. Now, as your business is growing, you can have Zero that will have your multi-currency, do bank reconciliation, together with your bills, your invoices, and your sales. Okay. So as you even grow and become a fully mature business, Zero can give you even more functions and add stuff like projects, okay, to your accounting. Multi functional zero can be used for a more advanced business, okay, which is doing many other things apart from just selling. Okay, so zero has been advanced also to use AI, okay, such that you'll be able to use AI to do capturing of bills, okay, such that if you scan a bill and put it in zero, you would extract all the information in the bill into a supplier and create a creditor or payable where you know that you owe the supplier and you need to pay the supplier. Okay, so this has accounting or process of keeping your records has become easier from what it used to be at at the beginning when I started with as an accountant. And this is very convenient for any business owner. If you have to spend many hours, like I know some business owners sit many hours trying to reconcile their their sales, their payments, their balances by themselves, then it means you're not making enough time for your business. You need enough time for your business where you can sit and then plan for what to do and then do it so that your business will move forward. But if you don't have this luxury to look after your business, to do what you do best, knowing that your money is in safe hands, okay, you know where your numbers are, what they mean, then it means you are a little unsettled as a business owner. And this could affect you because people will be doing away with your money sometimes. And remember, you're in business, you make money, so you cannot make wealth if you don't have these things in place. So setting it up very well and getting these things done is a sure way of taking care of your business and then maximizing your wealth. Time, they say, is very, very precious. Time is very important. So let's save time by making these processes easier and, and accessible to ourselves as business owners. Now, let's talk about online banking. Gone are the days where we would write a check, follow it through to the bank, and make the payments using a check and receive a check. 12 years ago, my boss in the office had told me to use online banking instead of writing checks. And that for me was not something I easily accepted. But with COVID, I saw that if we could do online banking and cloud accounting, then it means we could stay out of the office altogether and do our accounting function, just like we do if we were walking to the office every day. And this could save also be the accountants a lot of time and a lot of space. Because we can work outside the office and work in the home. And I can do that for my clients as well. And of course, that's what I do. So the convenience has become very, very important for every business owner to consider in trying to keep records of your business. And what will online banking allow you to do? Allow you to make payments, check your balances, download bank statements, do your bank transfers. And an instance where you do a bank transfer from here to the US, you could get a funds transferred within as short as 5 minutes or maximum 15 minutes. The person is going to tell you, I received this money. Now, if you're able to do this online banking and connect it with the cloud accounting that you're on, then it means that the information from the bank, once you make a transfer, this information is going straight into your accounting system. So you have created an invoice for a client who just bought from you. Now, if you inform this client that you want to be paid within 5 days, And this client pays you by online banking. Once he pays you, you see that the payment has been made on the online banking platform. And then because this platform is connected to your cloud accounting, immediately it would feed into the accounting system. And then it will match the client's um, balance. Okay, so this client is owing you, but now the payment has come through. So the client is no more owing you. So it means that you can reconcile the two. And so once the information is flowing, work is being done using AI. So these packages have embedded in them a lot of artificial intelligence. Once the name of the person paying the money matches the name of the invoice that you created, they will just match. And then your account is being done. That's the ease with which online banking and cloud accounting has made life easier for many businesses. So I want to employ you, I want to encourage you to collect your business information one way or the other. If you can't get on an online banking platform, or you cannot get on a cloud accounting platform, you can get an app as a starter, which will do your invoices for you, which will pay your bills for you. You can put this information in this app, okay, so that it's always available in a structured way. I mean, the form that is more modern, more recent than in an older form. And most of these apps are compatible with QuickBooks and Zero. So there are about 500 apps on QuickBooks and Zero. Both have about 500, which are industry specific. So there are apps in the hospitality, tourism, education, sales, retailing, and every other business that you can think about. Okay. If you don't even find your business, even for NGOs, right? There are apps, the charities, there's an app that can record your information for you. So if you cannot find one specific in your industry, there are generic ones that will do invoicing, okay, and purchases for you. And because these are compatible with QuickBooks and Sage and Zero, once you get this information going for probably a number of years or a number of months, and then you are ready to use QuickBooks or Zero or Sage, you just have to connect the two. And there you are, voila. So I encourage you to get an app, be on a package, save time to be able to do your business. Now, if you're able to put your information together very well, you will know when you have an excess cash. If you are having too much cash on your hand at a particular time as a business, you know you can invest this cash and that will bring you returns. So you maximize every aspect of your resources, every resource that you have as a business. You maximize your time, maximize your cash, you get the best in terms of the service that you offer. You'll be more competitive. You have records for your business. If you want to hand over your business to somebody who is succeeding you, a successor, and you just hand over the skill of doing this business without the records that go with it, that is a half job done. This person has to come back and familiarize, get to know who are your customers, who are your suppliers. Okay. But if you hand over a business with all these records, with contracts, with suppliers, with customers, with products, with services, everything at one place, organizational details, all at one place, to somebody who is succeeding you or potential buyer of your business, then you have actually giving the person a full information about your business. And that is what we do. We help you to do a miracle in Ghana. It is interesting that most of these clients have learned how to do this after some time. So when we are okay, we know that you now know how to do these things. We have set you up properly, probably in the first 2 or 3 years. Then we know that you're okay. We check on you from time to time, and we know that you're keeping very good records of your business. So I encourage you to come on board. I encourage you to keep very good records. I encourage you to do well so that you can achieve business well for your small business, which will grow into a bigger business in the very near future. Thank you for your attention. I am Miriam Obo-Anderson, FCCA.